The Reds begin a three-game set against Dave Bristol's San Francisco Giants, and, well, Cincinnati will be trying to stretch the winning streak to 5 straight as right-hander Paul Mosko goes to the mound against the left-hander Bob Knepper. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineups tonight for the San Francisco Giants, leading off and playing center field, will be Billy North. Batting second, Darrell Evans at third base. Jack Clark will hit third. He'll play right field. Batting fourth at first base, Willie McCovey. Terry Whitfield will play left field and bat fifth. Hitting number 6 at second base, Rennie Stennett. Milt May will catch and bat seventh. Hitting eighth at shortstop, Johnny LeMaster, and batting ninth and pitching, left-hander Bob Knepper. Again for the Giants, it's North in center field, Evans at third base, Clark in right field. McCovey at first, Whitfield in left field, Stennett at second base. With May catching, LeMaster at short, and Knepper pitching. For the Cincinnati Reds, Dave Collins to lead it off and play center field. Batting second, making his first start of the year, in right field, Hector Cruz. Dave Concepcion at shortstop, batting third. Left fielder George Foster will hit fourth. Batting fifth and catching, Johnny Bench. Hitting number 6 at third base, Ray Knight. Danny Dreesen will bat seventh. He'll play first base. At second base, the number 8 batter, Junior Kennedy. And batting ninth and pitching, right-hander Paul Mosko. Once more for the Reds, it's Collins in center field, Cruz in right field, Concepcion at shortstop. Foster in left field, Bench catching, Knight at third. In the bottom third again, we'll have Dreesen at first, Kennedy at second, and Mosko pitching. Joe, Paul Mosko's first appearance of the year, and, well, in view of the fact that Frank Pastore was supposed to start, somewhat unexpected.
Well, Marty, of course, Frank is having some stiffness in his left knee. That's the reason for him not starting, but certainly this is a good chance for Paul because he should be buoyed by the great pitching we've had to this point. And Charlie Lebrand yesterday, of course, Mike Lacoste, Bill Bonham, and Frank Pastore in the opener. And hopefully Paul can, well, crank up a gem for us here tonight. I think we can go back to last year. At one time last year, Paul was 4 wins, no losses, and we can always remember the 2 times he came in for Tom Seaver when Tom had some problems and just did a super job. So hopefully Paul can get himself off on the right track and add to this fine pitching we've received to this point.
Well, the Reds, of course, beat the Atlanta Braves 4 straight. They are the only undefeated team in the National League to date. The Giants picked up their first win of the year to avoid a 4-game series sweep in San Diego yesterday afternoon. Switch hitting Billy North to lead it off for the Giants. The first pitch is in at the knees for a called strike, and this game is underway. North, Evans, and Clark in the first inning for Dave Bristol's Giants. Billy North on the year 5 for 15. He's driven in 2 runs. The 1-strike pitch to him is taken, and that's a breaking ball for strike 2 call. So Paul Mosko throwing bullseyes on the first 2 deliveries to center fielder Bill North. Ray Knight playing inside the front white line at third base, now backing a step or 2 as the count goes to 2 strikes on the batter. Johnny Bench hangs aside, and Mosko brings it on up to the plate, and that one is taken low and inside for a ball. The Reds enter defense as Dreesen, Kennedy, Knight, and Concepcion at first, second, third, and short. Foster in left, Collins in center, Cruz in right. The 1-2 pitch to Billy North swung on and shot foul down the left field line and not a play. Holding count on North, a ball and 2 strikes. This, the lid lifter of a 3-game series, 8:05 start tomorrow night. And then a 12:30 business day special to wrap up the homestand on Wednesday afternoon. Mosko on the pitching rubber as North levels the bat. Here comes a pitch, and Billy North check swings a foul of the screen. The count holding at a ball, 2 strikes. Jimmy Davenport, the third base coach for the Giants, and our guest on Touching Bases tonight, and a newcomer on the Giants coaching staff. At first, Jim Lefevre. Mosko with a motion the pitch, and Billy North takes it just off the plate to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That loss yesterday by San Diego to the San Francisco club gives the Reds a 1-game lead in the Western Division. Billy North now takes it in on him, and Mosko, who at one point was out in front 2 strikes, has now run the count full at 3-2. Waiting to bat Darrell Evans, the payoff pitch, and North is on with a walk. Mosko missed the inside corner, and The leadoff batter in the game is on through a base on balls, and that brings up third baseman Darrell Evans. This copyrighted broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by Cincinnati Reds Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are employed by the Cincinnati Reds Incorporated. Billy North takes his lead at first, always a threat to steal. Mosco throws low. Dreesen comes up with it as Billy North steps back into the bag. Evans 3 for 17 on the season, left-handed batter with power. He checks his swing, and that pitch cost him a strike. It got the inside edge. Evans had the dubious distinction of tying a National League record 3 nights ago in San Diego, committing 3 errors in 1 inning that paved the way for a Padre win. He takes it on the outside edge, and Mosco gets his first 2 over to Evans, as he did against the leadoff batter, Billy North. 0-2. Dutch Renner at the plate umpire. At first, John Kibler. At second, Bruce Frankie Fremming. And at third, Terry Tata. Defense overshifts toward the right side. And the pitch on the way to Evans. It misses in the dirt. Bench comes up with it. Nothing going on with Billy North, who so far this season has attempted 3 steals and has been successful 1 time. Mosco straightens up on the mound and delivers the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball hit back into deep right center field. Collins to the warning track, and that ball is out of here for a home run. Darrell Evans hitting a 1-2 pitch to deep right center. And the San Francisco Giants jump quickly out in front in this game by a score of 2-0.
Marty, was a fastball, and looked like on the inside half a plate, about belt high. And now when the ball left the bat, it didn't look like it was going that far, but just kept going. And, well, got to play catch-up.
2-0 Giants, a walk and a home run, and the batter now is right fielder Jack Clark. Pitch to Clark, swung on and fouled off the mid of Johnny Bench. Well, Darrell Evans is down through the years, had good success in hitting against Cincinnati pitching. In fact, John McNamara was commenting the other day that Evans has seemed to hit every club that Mac has been with. Ball is fouled back to the screen. It's 2 strikes. A walk to North, a home run by Evans, his first of the year and his first RBIs. Clark on the season is 0 for 7. He has been bothered by a hyperextended thumb that really caused him problems last year. He hits one into center field. Going back on the ball is Dave Collins. He's got plenty of room to make the play, and he does for out number 1. 1 out with 2 runs in, and the batter will be first baseman Willie McCovey. Big Stretch has been getting a lot of playing time because they're regular at that position. Mike Ivy suffered an ankle injury in the opening game of the year at San Diego. Going into the bag at first base, he hit the side of the bag and suffered an ankle injury that has kept him pretty much sidelined, so McCovey's been the man at the first base position. Willie, 2 for 12, has knocked in 2 runs. Pitch taken high and away, a fastball. One-0 pitch. Curveball misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield deep and toward right. Concepcion shading the left-handed batter toward the middle as McCovey swings and fouls it back at third base, and that ball well back into the seats. Now, Willie McCovey against Paul Mosco, 2 balls and a strike. Giants have scored twice. A 2-run home run by Darrell Evans following a game-opening walk to Bill North. And Willie McCovey at the plate, 42 years old, and still going strong. The pitch misses outside, ball 3. McCovey, born on January the 10th, 1938 in Mobile, Alabama, now makes his home in Woodside, California, and he's been Mr. Giant. He walks, and Mosco having problems in the first inning. Second walk that Paul has allowed, and the batter will be left fielder Terry Whitfield. Whitfield 1 for 7. Dave Bristol has been platooning at that position so far in this very young season, either Whitfield or Herndon, depending upon a right-hander or a left-hander pitching. Whitfield takes a strike. Threesen playing behind McCovey, who takes his lead at first base. Whitfield, a former product of the Yankee organization. He swings and he misses at a pitch up, strike two. We'll be seeing the Giants on the first road trip that we take this season. We'll be on the road beginning Thursday night to help the Atlanta Braves celebrate their home opener. 4-game series there, then 3 in Houston, and then 3 in San Francisco. Whitfield takes it way outside, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Terry looking down to coach Jim Davenport at third base. Now settles back in as Mosco checks McCovey at first base and delivers, and that's strike 3 call on the inside corner. Whitfield actually was bailing a bit on the pitch, and he says something to Dutch Rennert as he runs back toward the Giant dugout. First strikeout for Paul, and with 2 away, the batter will be second baseman Rennie Stennett. Stennett, one of 3 newcomers to the San Francisco ball club. The Giants signed over the winter as free agent players. Rennie Stennett, Milt May, who moves to the on-deck circle, and also an outfielder, Jim Wolford. Stennett takes one that bounces up there and off the chest protector of Johnny Bench, and John flags it down along the first baseline. Stennett is 4 for 14. He had 2 hits yesterday, and the series wind up at San Diego, and they're hoping this man can regain the offensive magic, well, the all-around play that he exhibited a few years back with the Pittsburgh Pirates before suffering that ankle break. He lines one down the right field line. That's curving out of play. Foul ball. Two out, runner at first. The Giants have scored twice here in the first inning. Well, that home run by Evans at first given up by Reds pitching in this game number 5. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and hit into center field. Collins racing for the right side, and he makes the catch. Stennett hit it on the button, but Dave Collins moving quickly to his right toward the alley and left center made the catch. And for the Giants in the first inning, 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left, and after a half inning of baseball, the Giants 2 and the Reds are coming up. The action continues tomorrow night and Wednesday afternoon here at Riverfront Stadium as the Reds and the Giants wind up the season-opening homestand. Game time tomorrow night, 8:05. Tom Seaver makes his first start of the year against right-hander Ed Whitson. Then on Wednesday, a 12:30 Business Day special, and that's a Senior Citizen Day, too. Bargain prices for persons 65 and older. How about getting together with family or friends for a trip to the ball game? Plenty of seats available for both tomorrow night and Wednesday afternoon, and we'll see you then at Riverfront. Now, Seaver going tomorrow night against Whitson. Wednesday in the 12:30 affair, it'll be Mike Lacoste making his second start of the year against right-hander John Montefusco. Joe Bob Nepper had a rough go of it last year, 9-12, 465, and we've seen him when he was a better pitcher than that.
Well, Marty, he certainly is a better pitcher than what his record says of last year, but when you have control problems, of course, you open a lot of avenues for teams to score runs, and I think maybe this might have been a little bit of Bob's problem last year, maybe not so much in walks, but working behind a lot of hitters, and certainly when you're behind batters, you're going to invite trouble, and I would think that this might have been one of Bob's problems last year, but 2 years ago, it was just final left-handers you'd want to watch operate.
Well, the man who was named today as a National League Player of the first week of the 1980 season, Dave Collins, to lead it off.
Concepcion at third base, nobody out. George Foster the batter. Giants lead 4-0. Nepper working from the windup, and Foster takes high and outside a ball. Delivers the 1-0. Foster takes it high, and it's 2 balls, no strikes, and Nepper asks for another baseball from plate umpire Dutch Rennert. That's the second triple of the year by the Reds. The other belongs to Junior Kennedy. Knepper delivers. Foster takes. Ball 3. 3-0 the count. We might get some activity possibly in the Giant bullpen. Nothing going on right now as Milt May goes to the mound to have a word with Bob Knepper. Gary Lavelle and Randy Moffett. And now they start taking off their parkas and jackets and head on to the bullpen to start throwing. 3-0 the count to George Foster. Foster 1 foot out of the batter's box, 1 in, and now settles back into the batter's box. Knepper delivers a 3-0. That's a strike called at 3-1. Gary Lavelle heads to the Giant bullpen along with Randy Moffett to start throwing. Concepcion at third. No out. 3-1 delivery. Foster swings and fouls it back over our head. And a full count to George. Johnny Bench waiting on deck. The 3-2. Swung on. Line to the diving Stennett at second base, who picks it off, moving off to his right. A 1 away. Concepcion holds at third, and the batter will be Johnny Bench. John has walked and popped out to Milt May in foul territory. Infield playing back. Knepper delivers. Bench swings and pops it up. Right side. McCovey out. Now Stennett over. He's calling, and Rennie has it. Tagging and holding is Concepcion at third. So we got a break, but we've not taken advantage of it to this point. As Bench pops out to Rennie Stennett behind first base. Shallow right. 2 away, and Ray Knight the batter. Ray 0 for 2, hit into a force out in the second, and a fly ball to right in the fifth. Bob Knepper blowing his neck. Could have been out of the inning. Knight takes high from Knepper, a ball. Knepper delivers. Knight looks at a breaking ball for a called strike at the knees. 1-1. Giant outfield is straight away. Darrell Evans deep at third. Knepper's 1-1 delivery. Swung on line to center field. That's a base hit, and Concepcion scores. It's a 4-1 ball game. Ray Knight drills one by Knepper and into center field. The Reds are on the scoreboard, and the batter will be Danny Dreesen. Third hit of the game for Cincinnati. Ray Knight, that his first RBI of the year. McCovey will play behind Knight at first base. The stretch by Knepper. And the pitch to Dreesen. Dan swings and chops it foul at the plate. Danny 0 for 2 is popped out to Evans in foul territory at third and was called out on strikes in the fifth. Dreesen over the on-deck circle to get the rosin bag. Junior Kennedy waiting on deck. We got Dave Tomlin throwing in the Reds bullpen. Moffett and Lavelle both throwing in the Giant bullpen. Stretched by Knepper, the 0-1. Dreesen takes a breaking ball high, and the count evens 1-1. Knepper delivers. Dreesen swings and fouls straight back. The ball, 2 strikes to Danny. Knepper to the belt. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him with a sweeping curveball, and that's the 6th strikeout for Bob Knepper.
Cincinnati needing 4 runs to even things up here against Bob Knepper as they come up for their final shot. And again, Dave Bristol leaving nothing to chance, has his 2 hammers ready, Randy Moffett and Gary Lavelle. It'll be Concepcion, Foster, bench, and hopefully more in the 9th. Reds have had only 3 hits. The Giants have had but 6. They certainly have made the most of their runs and hits. 5 runs, 6 hits. Davey has scored the only Cincinnati run after tripling to lead off the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3. And he's 6 for 20 on the year. Milton A lobs one down to Rennie Stennett. The ball around the Giant infield, and Davey ready to go. Knepper back behind the mound, getting some of the dirt out of his spikes. Houston has added another run. It leads the Atlanta Braves now 3-1. Of course, if the Astros win that one and the Reds lose this one, those 2 clubs would be tied for first in the National League West with 4-1 records. And, well, if San Diego should beat the Dodgers tonight, they also would be 4-1. Here's Concepcion. Here's Knepper. Strike call. That's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Knepper has continued to work quick all night. He misses high and inside to Dave Concepcion. 2 balls and a strike. Bob has fanned 7. He has walked only 2. Swung on and hit in the middle of the diamond and out into center field for a base hit. Davey hitting a low line drive off the end of the bat to begin the 9th with a hit up the middle. Now George Foster, 2 fly balls to center and a vicious liner to second base has been the bat story on the Reds power plant tonight. Well, Bob Knepper, after his 29th Major League complete game, Foster waits on the pitch, and here it comes. Up and in, a ball 1. Foster steps out as Knepper starts into his stretch. Now the pitch. Foul back and out of play. 1-1. Georgia, one-time San Francisco Giant, native Californian, signed with the Giants, came over to the Reds, and boy, the rest is history. 1-1 the count. He hits a high fly ball into left center field. Terry Whitfield moves into the alley and gives way to Larry Herndon, who makes the catch for the out. Center fielder Herndon grabs Foster's fly ball. 1 gone for Johnny Bench. John has drawn a walk, popped up foul to May, and popped up to Stennett. 0 for 2. Giants leading at 5-1. 1 out and 1 on in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Bench takes it down and in for ball 1. Johnny hit career homer number 333 yesterday. Missing, no, or did it or not? Apparently no, it was outside. 2-0. Knepper checking Concepcion at first. Bench swings at a high fastball and didn't get it. 2-1. Bullpen quiet for Cincinnati. Same duo continue to throw for the Giants. Right-hander Moffitt, left-hander Lavelle. Here's a pitch. Here's a fly ball hit down the left field line. That's hit well, but it's curving, and it's in the seats, a foul ball. Now Johnny Bench comes back to await a 2-2 pitch from Bob Knepper. He bangs a bat handle on the AstroTurf to make sure he didn't break that bat. Don't forget, second game of this series coming up, 8:05 tomorrow night. Tom Seaver, his first start of the year. Giants pitcher, right-hander Ed Whitson. Davey off the bag at first. McCovey plays behind him. Bench pops it up, but no play as May looks at the ball ride back into the seats. Knepper with his back to the plate at the base of the mound. Facing out towards center field, blows into his left hand and now moves back on top of the mound. Ray Knight on deck. Concepcion single to center. Foster fly to center. And now the 2-2 to Bench. Bouncing ball, third baseman off the glove of Evans. He picks it up but will have no play. Darrell backhanded that ball and it got off and rolled into foul territory. That's going to be scored, an infield base hit for Johnny Bench. Here's Ray Knight, who singled in the run in the 7th inning. Ray picking up his first run batted into the season. Ground ball, third baseman up with it. Evans goes to Stennett. Stennett throwing to first, not in time to get the double play. I think Johnny Bench having something to say to Bruce Fleming, thinking that maybe the throw to Evans pulls Stennett off the bag, but apparently Johnny satisfied that was not the case. So Knight hits into a force play at second, and with runners on the corners and 2 out, the batter will be Danny Dreesen. Danny has popped up and struck out twice. Concepcion third, Knight at first. Strike call. Dreesen hits one into left field, base hit. In to score comes Concepcion. Moving to second goes Knight. The Reds with a run home here in the 9th inning to make it 5-2, and Dave Bristol out of the dugout and on his way to the mound. He might be on his way to bringing Bob Knepper back with him. In fact, he is, as he signals for the bullpen. And it looks like he's going to bring on Gary Lavelle to face a right-handed batting Junior Kennedy. So the Reds with a run here in the 9th inning, still trailing by 3. The tie-in run will be at the plate. And left-hander Gary Lavelle will be on to face Junior Kennedy. So in the 9th, a break in the action, and we'll be back with more in just a moment. Gary Lavelle is on now to try and bail Bob Knepper out as the Reds have come up with 3 9th-inning hits, a single by Concepcion, an infield base hit by Bench, and a 2-out run-producing single by Danny Dreesen. And now Gary Lavelle makes his 3rd appearance of the season. He is 0-1. with a .225 earned run average. In 3 2/3 innings, he surrendered 2 hits and 3 runs, only 1 of them earned, has fanned 3 and walked 3. I'm sure Dave Bristol well aware of the fact that should Kennedy get on, still on that Cincinnati bench are the likes of Ken Griffey and Harry Spillman, both left-handed batters. You have to think that even if Kennedy does get on, Dave Bristol might well stay with Gary Lavelle. 5-2 Giants with 2 out. Lavelle pitches to Kennedy, and Junior checks his swing. It's low for a ball. And the Reds are battling in the 9th. Here's Lavelle ready with a 1-0 to the plate. Kennedy takes it upstairs, ball 2. Two balls and no strikes. Junior has doubled, grounded out, and drawn a walk. Pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play. 2-1. Well, the Reds have evened the hit totals up at 6, but right now, small consolation. Kennedy ground ball, diving, no play by the shortstop. Here comes the runner rounding third and home, Ray Knight. Junior Kennedy grounds one into left field. A run is home, and it's 5-3. So Junior Kennedy keeps things going, and Ken Griffey will be brought out of the dugout to pinch hit for Dave Tomlin. Johnny LeMaster dove for that ball, but it got by. So the tying runs are on base. A winning run is at the plate. 4 hits here in the 9th inning have scored a pair of runs. Gary Lavelle will stay loose by throwing down to Milt May. Ken Griffey taking his time in the batter's box. And Griffey this season has gone 4 for 16. A triple and 4 RBIs. San Francisco 5, Cincinnati 3. Dreesen at second base, Kennedy at first. Junior carries a tie and run. Left-hander against left-hander. Lavelle looks him over, sends in the pitch. Griffey takes it down and away for a ball. Well, both runs here in the 9th inning charged to the departed Bob Knepper, and should Dreesen score, he also would be charged to the starting pitcher's totals. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield deep and around toward right for Griffey. A lot of room down the left field line and also in left center. The 2-0 delivery. That's in there. Breaking ball for a strike. Knepper looks down to Milt May. Runners leading first and second base. The stretch, the pause, and the pitch. That is ball 3. Kenny out away from the plate, knocking the dirt away from his spikes. Now settles slowly back in. Lavelle needs a strike. He straightens up on the mound, brings home the 3-1 pitch. Griffey takes ball 4. The bases are loaded. Dave Bristol back to the mound. Let's see if he'll bring Randy Moffett on to face Dave Collins as we pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. Now the tying runs are now in scoring position. The bases are loaded. Collins is 0 for 4. He's facing Gary Lavelle for the first time tonight, and against left-handers this season, Collins has gone 1 for 6. A single of any distance now would tie it up. Lavelle from the stretch. The pitch swung on. Fly ball, right center field. Herndon on the run. He can't get it. Here comes one run in. The ball gets away. Here comes another one across. Collins heads to third. The Reds have done it as Collins triples to right center field. He clears the bases, and the Reds win it by a score of 6-5. Dave Collins with a gapper to right center field. Danny Dreesen, Junior Kennedy, Ken Griffey all score, and the Reds have done it again. 4 runs at the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Reds have pulled another one out in this young 1980 season as they defeat the San Francisco Giants by a final score of 6-5. We'll be back in just a moment. It looked for the longest kind of time tonight that the Giants would hand the Reds their first loss of this 1980 season. San Francisco struck quickly in the first inning against Paul Mosco as Billy North opened with a base on balls, and Darrell Evans hit his first homer of the year, a blast to deep right center to give San Francisco a 2-0 lead. Giants made it 3-0 with a run in the third inning. Darrell Evans led off with a base on balls. 1 out later, Willie McCovey singled to left center, moving Evans to third, and Whitfield's high bouncer to first baseman Danny Dreesen got Evans in to give the Giants a 3-0 lead. Going to the seventh inning against Bob Knepper, the Reds had enjoyed a one-hit night, and that was a leadoff double in the third inning by Junior Kennedy. Knepper in complete command, but in the seventh inning, Dave Concepcion tripled down the right field line, and 2 outs later, Ray Knight lined a low single into center field to drive the run in and make it a 3-1 ball game. That actually 4-1 at that time, because in the top of the seventh inning, Milt May against newcomer Mario Soto hit his first homer of the year to right field, and the Reds came back to get that run-producing base hit by Ray Knight to make it 4-1. The Giants made it 5-1 with a run home in the ninth inning against Dave Tomlin, a 1-out double to right center field by Rennie Stennett. Milt May bounced out with Stennett holding at second. Johnny LeMaster then drew the intentional walk to make way for Knepper, and he caused the strategy to backfire by lining a single to center field, scoring Stennett to make it 5-1. So the Reds were looking at a 4-run deficit as they moved to the bottom half of the ninth inning, and to lead it off, Dave Concepcion lined a single to center. George Foster fly to center, but then Johnny Bench hit a ground ball over the bag at third that was knocked down by Darrell Evans' no play. An infield base hit for number 5, and the Reds had him at first and second. Ray Knight grounded to third baseman Evans, who turned that into a forced play of Bench at second base, and the Reds had runners at first and third with 2 down. Danny Dreesen then singled to left field. That made it 5-2. At that point, Dave Bristol brought on left-hander Lavelle to face a right-handed batting Junior Kennedy. Kennedy continued his hot hitting with a run-scoring single to left field, making it 5-3. Ken Griffey was sent up to bat for winning pitcher Dave Tomlin. He drew a base on balls to set the stage for Dave Collins. Dave had gone 0 for 4 on the night, was facing Lavelle for the first time with the bases loaded, 2 out in the ninth inning. The Reds 2 runs down, and here's what happened. A single of any distance now would tie it up. Lavelle from the stretch. The pitch swung on. Fly ball, right center field. Earned it on the run. He can't get it. Here comes one run in. The ball gets away. Here comes another one across. Collins heads to third. The Reds have done it as Collins triples to right center field. He clears the bases, and the Reds win it by a score of 6-5. Dave Collins with a gapper to right center field. Danny Dreesen, Junior Kennedy, Ken Griffey all score, and the Reds have done it again. A big, big blow for Dave Collins. Another big, exciting come-from-behind win by the Cincinnati Reds in the bottom of the ninth inning as they sent 8 batters to the plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 had base hits, and the Reds win it 6-5. Winning pitcher Dave Tomlin, his first decision. Gary Lavelle suffers his second loss of the year without a win. Reds had 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 5 left. The Giants 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they stranded 5. The Reds are now 5-0 on the year, with game number 2 of this series coming up at 8:05 tomorrow night. Tom Seaver makes his first start of the season, and for the Giants, a right-hander, Ed Whitson. Hope you can make it out, but if not, by all means, join us on the Reds Radio Network. We'll be on the air with the pregame shows beginning at 7:35 Cincinnati time. Again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 26 minutes to play before a crowd of 15,757. The Reds with 5 in the ninth to defeat the Giants 6-5.